Ladies and gentlemen, y'all ready for a good show? Let me hear you make some noise. Now I will talk into the microphone and address it properly. Hello, microphone. First of all, thank you all for coming. We appreciate you. We know that it's rainy and cloudy, and you're inside, so things are good. First of all, how many of you have a cell phone? How many of you have already put it on silent? How many of you have already taken 3 pictures, posted them to Instagram with the hashtag ARTC Radio? Or put a TikTok up about how cool Trudy is with the cane? These are important things to do. You don't have to turn your phones off. You can even take pictures. All of that is wonderful. We appreciate you. This is our 22nd annual Atlanta Christmas. Yes, Atlanta Christmas is now legally old enough to drink. And we hope that you enjoy it. You will see old scripts and new. You will hear a world premiere at the end of the show. And we have one more show tomorrow, so if you like the show, please tell 50 of your friends. If you don't like the show, vengeance is thine. Tell 50 of your enemies. You can like us on Facebook and Twitter and every single social media platform there is. Our website is artsy.org. And you may be thinking, I do not have my Yule presents yet. What should I get my friends for Yule? At the very back of our auditorium, the Schraders are manning our table where you can buy our catalog of work and give the gift of imagination. So are we all ready to begin? Yes. I would ask the actors to approach the microphones and get ready for our very first show. This is an unusual year. One of our founders was a gentleman named Thomas Fuller. And for the first time in a very long time, not a single script of his appears. But he appears. So this... Already? Mm-hmm. This is Miracle in a Convenience Store Parking Lot by the one and only Ron N. Butler.
Artsy's late head writer, Thomas E. Fuller, used to pick up a few bucks as a shopping mall Santa at Christmas time. And he night clerked at a 7-Eleven for a while. But nothing like this ever happened to him. Honest.
Open the door. 3 steps to the counter. Show him the gun. Give me the money. Give me the money in the register. Nobody has to get hurt. Back out. 3 steps. Turn. Run. Open the door. 3 steps.
Freeze! Feel this in your ribs? You want to keep your kidneys? You won't try anything.
Okay. Don't.
Raise your right hand. I want to see what's in it. Slow. A gun. Give me that.
Here.
Turn around.
You're Santa Claus.
There ain't no Santa Claus. There's a mall down the road where you can sit on a guy's lap, but no Santa Claus.
Could I have my...
No. You don't get your pitiful 25 caliber piece of crap back. Now, why are you trying to stick up a convenience store on Christmas Eve, for Christ's sake?
I wasn't.
I stood behind you for 5 minutes, listening to you trying to get your nerve up. You were going to rob Jerry's place.
Mister, I need the money. I've been out of work since August.
Okay. I get that. But why tonight?
It's my little girl. She wants this doll, and she got it stuck in her head that Santa Claus...
Good grief. Okay, back up 3 paces. Yeah, that's right. Now watch. I'm going to put Big Bertha here in my pocket. And then I'm going to pull out my wallet. I'm going to buy your gun for $20.
Buy my...
Not that this chunk of pot metal is worth it. Here, take the money, bunkie.
What? What do you want me to do?
There's a Toys R Us a quarter mile down the road, on the right. They're open till 10. Go buy your little girl a dolly, then go home. Go the long way. Don't come back here. Ah, hell. Here's another 20. Buy her some food, too. Well, run, you sucker, run!
Ah!
Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Okay. Hey, Jerry.
Oh, hey, Thomas. You finished playing Santa Claus for this year?
Clocked out and paid up. Value customers, Blackfriars Mall is closed for the holidays. And I am out of a job. Let me go get changed and I'll take over the register and you can go home.
The mall lets you keep the suit?
I'll have you know that I own my own Santa uniform.
Smart ass.
I'm going to buy a new pair of red trousers next year, though. These are ruined.
What's the matter with them?
Look at them, soaking wet in the front.
How'd that happen?
One of those things they don't tell you about in Kris Kringle boot camp. You get 200 little kids lined up to see Santa. Stand them in line for an hour. Their parents will not pull them out of line to go to the little boys or little girls' room when they gotta go. Then they get all excited when it's their turn comes and, well, 1 kid out of 20, potty training just didn't do the job.
Oh, go get changed. I'll make out the turnover sheet.
Wait. I can't. Jerry, I'm about to do something that looks scary, but it is not. Bear with me, please.
That's a gun.
Which, please note, I am holding by its barrel with 2 fingers. Let me put it down here. Would you please put this in the safe? We can turn it over to the Atlanta cops in the morning.
Where did you get that?
For the cops? I found it on the sidewalk while I was walking over from the mall.
Okay. Now, where'd you really get it?
Took it off some goober in the front parking lot. Jammed a knuckle in his ribs and threatened to shoot him till he coughed it up.
Oh, you damn fool. He could have killed you.
When I came up behind him, he was trying to work up the nerve to rob this place and losing. He was more likely to shoot himself in the foot than hit me.
Is he still out there?
No, I gave him $20 for the gun and chased him off in the direction of Toys R Us.
You gave him money and sent him off to buy toys.
That's why he was going to rob you. His little girl had his heart set on some
All right,
doll.
stop right there. This is going right off the dial for crazy. Wait here. Drink that.
I don't need
Your
it.
hands are shaking. Drink it. In fact, I could use a shot myself.
That was some of the worst hooch I have ever choked down.
Yep.
And thank you very much for it.
Another?
God, no.
Tom, son, we just dodged a bullet the size of an artillery shell this evening.
We?
If your goober had come by 10 minutes later, I'd have been driving home and you would have been behind the counter.
There is that.
So, change of plan. It was a bad idea on my part to keep this place open late on Christmas Eve anyway. I haven't gotten in enough customers to pay for the electric, so we're locking up and going home.
Jerry, I need the hours.
What? Oh, good. Go home. I'll pay you for the hours.
You will? Truly, this is a night of wonders and miracles.
Smartass.
No, I'm serious and thankful, and I'm standing in front of you in a pea-soaked Santa Claus suit with the worst whiskey I ever drank, loosening my bowels, and I'm thankful. See? First off, neither one of us got a gun shoved in our face tonight.
There is that.
And the Atlanta PD gets another cheap pistol to add to their vast collection.
This is true.
And somewhere, tomorrow morning, a little girl gets a dolly.
a night of wonders and miracles.
Hallelujah! And Merry Christmas.
Sometimes, young people show remarkable maturity as they age and go to our family reunions. And sometimes they don't. Here's a story about that again by Ron N. Butler.
When I was a little girl and Christmas rolled around, my parents would always throw a big dinner and party on Christmas Eve. We didn't have many relatives in driving distance, but the house was always full. It was fun when I was little. When I got older and I was convinced much more sophisticated, I got picky about what it was full of.
But Mom, Dad, I don't want to stay for the Christmas party. I've got things to do.
Oh, honey, everyone will want to know where you are. They want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
You can do it for me. I need to run to the mall.
You sure? I think the mall closed about an hour ago. Christmas Eve and all.
Not that mall.
All the malls. Is this a someplace I gotta go thing, or someplace I want to get away from thing?
What? Oh, your relatives.
They're not my relatives, I mean. Not all of them, anyway.
No, not all. Family by choice, as we say. All right, play fair. Tell me what's bothering you about our guests. Before you go, that is. Well?
I just wish some of them weren't related to me.
Uncle Ronald.
He's so creepy, and his same old jokes year after year that weren't funny the first time.
Well, it's not from my side of the family. He's not my brother.
What? Wait, he's not your brother? All these years, I thought, oh my God, the man's an imposter!
Stop that.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Ronnie just doesn't like to be touched, that's all. It's so awkward when I want to give him a great big hug.
Well, to be fair, I do remember one time he hugged someone.
Who?
You.
Me? Ew.
Yeah, at your grandmother's funeral. Do you remember?
I remember I cried.
Oh, didn't you? You were sitting on my right in the pew, and your Uncle Ronald was on your right. You got more and more upset and cried harder and harder. I had my hands full with your brother, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And all of a sudden, Ronald twisted around, so stiff, and put his arms around you, and you cried into the front of his jacket until the service was done.
I had forgotten that, kinda.
Did you know that he cried the whole time, too?
No, I didn't know that.
He did. You walked out of the church with a face like thunder. I didn't ever think you'd smile again. But your uncle made you laugh inside 5 minutes.
I guess all his jokes aren't that bad. Maybe.
Don't you want to see your cousin George?
Oh, sure. It just feels funny to talk with him. The way he is, I mean.
I know you remember when that gang of bullies started bothering you out on the bike trail? You were 6.
And he was 12. Not even big for his age. Hun, they could have really hurt you.
But George came running back down the trail and chased them off. He jumped on the biggest boy's back and started punching him in the ear.
You know he'd do that for you again, if he could get to his feet.
If he had feet. He's just lucky the mine didn't kill him outright, I guess.
I remember. Yeah, I do want to see George.
And your Aunt Rachel.
Now, she's not really my aunt.
Not by blood, no.
And she's usually cool, but around Hanukkah, sorry, she gets all huggy. And the way she looks at me, she says I look so much like my cousin Alma.
She and her cousin were very close.
I do not look like an old lady.
No, you look like Alma as Rachel remembers her. Alma never got to be old.
She's dead?
A long time ago, in a place in Poland.
Here, I'll get the door.
Here. Car keys.
What?
Take the Mustang, slide out the back. I'll make your excuses. It'll be a convincing excuse, I promise. No one will ever know.
You're trying to make me feel guilty.
No guilt. I understand. Believe me, I really do. I just wanted to remind you about a few things about these people. And about you. Before you go. That is.
I think I'll stay. I do understand, or I think I do.
I think you do too. Come here, give me a hug.
Merry Christmas!
We'll all look so different in a few years. And you will understand. I wish you didn't have to. Merry Christmas, everyone! Come on in!
The years did pass, and I came to understand. And I missed them all. Merry Christmas, everyone. Everyone in our home and in our hearts. Come on in.
Season's greetings, one and all. Many of you know me. Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, Kris Kringle, the man with the bag. You might imagine that for me, every Christmas Eve is much like every other Christmas Eve, each one equally wondrous. For the most part, this is true, but on occasion one stands out among the rest. I rarely see the children whose homes I visit. They're nearly always in bed, as good children should be. But once, I had the peculiar pleasure of making the acquaintance of one of the worst children I'd ever heard of, who was also one of the best. That was Christmas Eve in 1907, the year Sylvia Folliewall turned 10.
Dear Santa Claus, I am a very good girl, deep, deep down. Please forgive me for the bad things I sometimes do, and do not pass me by. Love, Sylvia Folliewall. P.S. I'm not really running away. I just need to do something in town.
Fairy Silk and Santa Claus by Kelley S. Ceccato.
Miss Loveday's Grand Emporium. Anything you need, guaranteed. That sounds right.
Toys of all kinds, dolls, trains, rocking horses, jack-in-the-boxes, gowns, bonnets, hats, bracelets, pearl necklaces, anything you and your loved ones could want.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, good afternoon, my cherub, and a Merry Christmas Eve.
I'm looking for a gift, and I need some advice.
Who is your gift for? Mother, father?
Santa Claus.
Oh, no, child, I'm not laughing at you. You startled me, that's all. After all, Santa Claus is more likely to give gifts than to receive them.
I know, but I need to give him something just the same.
Why, my dear?
So he won't think I'm bad.
And why should St. Nick think such a nice little girl is bad?
I punched my cousin.
Oh.
He deserved it, though.
Indeed?
I had all my toy soldiers set up in formation, and he kicked them down and stepped on them.
Dear me, that was rude.
He said a stupid girl hadn't any business playing with soldiers anyway, so I punched him. Everybody's always telling me what a terrible temper I have.
And it boiled over just before Christmas.
Now Santa Claus will leave all kinds of toys for my little sister, and not a thing for me, unless I can convince him I'm really good.
I'll tell you a little secret, Miss,
Sylvia Folliewall.
Sylvia. Nobody's good all the time. What's more, Santa Claus knows this. All he wants is for you to do your best.
You think so?
Of course.
I still think maybe I should give him something. I mean...
I believe I know just what you're looking for. Tell me, Sylvia, where does Santa Claus live?
The North Pole.
The coldest place in the world. He must shiver all the year through.
Gloves, then? Or muffs for his ears?
Close, but no. Step this way for a moment, if you please. Look at this. My great-great-grandmother wove this scarf, soft as a spider's web, shimmering as starlight, and strong as iron. She called it fairy silk. Here, wrap it around your shoulders. How do you feel?
Warm. It's so warm.
She wove a charm into the thread so that whoever wore that scarf would never feel the cold. Now, what better gift could there be for someone who lives at the North Pole?
Here, take all my allowance.
Ah, very generous.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, child. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Loveday. It's snowing, and yet I'm still warm. So warm. Fairy silk, fairy silk, fairy, fairy silk. It's just so beautiful. It has rainbow flecks in it.
Watch where you're going, brat.
I'm so. Hey! Come back here! Come back here with that scarf! It's mine! I bought it and I paid for it! It's mine, do you hear? Please give it back!
Just where do you think you're off to, Joe Hatcher? Rainbow's not really your color, is it, Joe?
I just...
Thought you'd take what wasn't yours? What say you and I take a walk down to the police station? Jail's a cozy place to spend Christmas Eve.
No, I only want...
Give the little girl her scarf back. Give it back.
Fine. Here, little Miss Ritch.
Thank you.
What do you say, kid? Shall I haul him off to the cops?
No, thank you. I've got my scarf.
So, everybody's happy. You get to go home this time, Joe. But don't let me catch you with somebody else's things again. You got that? Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, kid. What's your name?
Sylvia Foleywool.
Well, Miss Follywell, we don't tolerate thieves here.
We do not.
No.
Where you have thieves, you have cops. And we don't want those, right?
Right. You said it.
So, don't be scared that... Where are your folks?
At home?
You're out here by yourself.
I had to buy a Christmas present. What is this place?
Harper Street.
Home of hard workers.
And the drunkers. And bandits.
So, you chased down a thief and got yourself lost, eh? Where's your home?
Middleton Way.
Oh, Snob Hill.
Silkhat Avenue.
Hush your nonsense. Don't worry, kid. Just let me finish up here and I'll walk you home. All right, troop, where were we?
Boom, boom, boom.
Right. On December 5 and 20.
Boom, boom, boom.
On December 5 and 20.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, a child was born this night, so rosy white, son of Mary, Virgin Holy, in a stable mean and lowly.
Boom, boom, boom.
Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Everybody!
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain
that Jesus Christ is born.
You got a good set of pipes, kid. All right, that's enough. I need to get this little one home.
We can sing some more. I don't mind.
And keep your folks in a panic? Not the best plan. Till later, troop.
Bye. Bye, Sylvia.
Bye, Sylvia.
Bye, Leigh.
Bye, Dora.
What's your name?
Dorothy Makepeace. Good to meet you.
Dorothy Makepeace. That's pretty. Thank you again, Dorothy.
Don't mention it, kid. 'Twas Mary, daughter pure of Holy Anne, that brought into this world the
shared the roof with them. Venite adoremus Dominum. Venite adoremus Dominum.
What do you suppose that means?
It's like, O come, all you faithful. O come, let us adore him. Venite adoremus Dominum. Christ the Lord.
Well, what do you know? Never heard it like that before.
Mama likes to sing it in Latin.
Your mom's a singer?
Uh-huh. She taught me to play the piano, too.
Don't like it much? Mom makes you practice for hours?
I'd practice all day if I could.
Then why'd you run off?
I told you before. I needed to buy a present, and I had to do it alone.
Why?
They'd say it was silly. All my friends laugh at me and swear there's no such thing, but I just know they're wrong.
About what?
Santa Claus.
What about Santa Claus?
I wanted to buy a present for him, so he'd forgive me for punching my cousin in the nose.
You're a cousin puncher?
He shouldn't have knocked my soldiers over.
Kid, you're full of surprises. So, what did you buy for old St. Nick?
This scarf. It's made of fairy silk. When you wear it, you don't feel the cold. I guess that's stupid too.
I didn't say that, but tell me, Sylvia, what makes you so sure there's a Santa Claus?
Because every Christmas morning, I find some present I didn't ask for, and it always ends up being my favorite thing.
I see.
2 years ago, for instance, I got a book of poetry, A Child's Garden of Verses. I never read much poetry before. I didn't even know if I liked it. But that spring, I got sick and had to stay in bed for over a month. And I read that over and over and over. It was like a light inside my head. Each time I read it, I felt better. Santa Claus knew that book would help me. Who else could have known?
Who, indeed?
Why are you so sure there's no Santa Claus?
I'm not. Maybe there is one. But he never comes to kids on my street.
He does if you're good.
I know a lot of good kids on my street, but they don't run out onto the sidewalks with their shiny new toys Christmas morning. Santa Claus doesn't believe in us, that's for sure.
Didn't you ever get a present?
My folks gave me things when they could. New shoes and shawls when the old ones wore out, but never a surprise book of poetry from St. Nick.
That's awful.
That's not so bad. When I was 5, I saw a doll in the window of a store. One of those China dolls with a lace dress and big blonde curls.
Like Molly,
I wanted it so badly I cried for a week. But on Christmas morning, Dad took 2 sticks and a pine cone and tied them together. The sticks crosswise and the pine cone on top. Then he wrapped the thing in a piece of white cloth.
He made a doll for you.
He told me she was under a curse. Until someone loved her enough to see how beautiful she really was, she'd look just like 2 sticks and a pine cone.
Did you love her?
Oh, yes. I still have her. Every time she falls apart, I fix her.
He must love you very much. Your father, I mean.
He did. They both did.
Dorothy, when we get to my house, would you come inside with me? I'll be in trouble, I know, but I want to thank you for looking after me, and
I need to get back down to Ridgeway Corner.
What's at Ridgeway Corner?
My livelihood. In the morning, I sing for my friends, and the rest of the day, I sing for my supper. Here we are, 236 Middleton Way. That big maroon house is yours?
Yes. Maybe some other day you can come and visit me. Now you know where I live.
Sure thing, kid. What's the matter?
You have to stay outside and sing all day?
Chin up. Christmas Eve's one of my best days. Last year, I took in more than $10.
Here, take this.
Your scarf?
It'll keep you warm.
But isn't it for Santa Claus?
I'd rather you had it.
Thanks, kid.
Merry Christmas, Dorothy.
Merry Christmas, Sylvia.
Here, Miss Sylvie, I brought you some supper.
Thank you. I'm not hungry.
Oh, why cry, sweetheart? Your mom and dad won't be mad at you forever.
I know, but that's not why I'm sad. I'll never see her again.
Oh, dear.
My friend, Dorothy Makepeace. She looked after me when I got lost and walked me home. She said she'd come back and visit me, but I know in my bones she won't.
Oh, maybe she will.
She won't. She was sweet to me. She didn't even laugh when I told her about a child's garden of verses. Maybe she should have.
What do you mean?
Santa Claus never brought her any gifts. She's better than I am. Why wouldn't he come to her house?
Miss Sylvie, where did you meet this Dorothy Makepeace?
Harbor Street. That's where she lives.
You know, my dear, the people there don't have very much.
But she's good, Nanny. Santa Claus ought to give her something. If he doesn't, he's a stingy old miser.
Child, it's like you've always told me. Santa visits children who believe in him.
Maybe. No, it's not right.
Be still now. You want Santa Claus to come to you tonight, don't you? He won't if you call him names.
He won't anyway. I'm on his bad list.
Oh, just say some prayers, child. I'm sure he'll forgive you. In the meantime, eat some supper.
If I'm already on the bad list, I may as well go all in. Santa Claus will come for Celia tonight, and I'll be ready for him.
Here's one for Celia. Yes, and another for Celia. And one for...
Hello, Mr. Claus?
Sylvia Follywole, what are you doing out of bed? And why have you lassoed my boot with the jump rope I gave you last year?
Because I need to talk to you. I know I'm on your bad list, but please hear me out.
Bad list, you say? I just pulled this package from my sack, and it has your name on it. I hope it isn't broken after the tumble I took.
I don't want it anyway. Right now, I don't care if I never get another present.
Now this is a strange mood. Kindly remove that jump rope from my boot and tell me what's troubling you.
You won't run away?
If you were the sort of child I should run away from, you would indeed be on my bad list. Ah, much better.
Mr. Claus, why haven't you visited Harper Street?
Harper Street, my dear?
A place where children don't rush onto the sidewalk on Christmas morning to play with their new toys, because they don't get any.
How do you know this?
My friend Dorothy told me. She's never gotten anything either. If you give presents to all the good children, why not to her?
Sylvia, my child, I exist for you because you believe in me. But where people do not believe in me, there I do not exist.
But how can people believe in you if you never show up for them?
I would bring gifts to every child if I could, but without belief, I don't even know where to find them.
So we're talking now because I believe in you?
Belief is a powerful thing.
Well then, I believe you're going to give a present to every child on Harper Street, including and especially Dorothy, because that's what I want for Christmas.
And if I don't?
I'll lasso your boot again.
Maybe you are a child to run away from. But in this, I agree with you. I will need your help. Would you ride with me in my sleigh to help me find Harper Street?
Me? Ride? In your sleigh?
Would you? I'll take that to mean yes. So, begin by telling me everything you can about your friend.
She has brown hair and freckles, and she sings in a big, loud voice. On December 5 and 20, foom, foom, foom.
Very good. What else?
She has to sing on Ridgeway Corner to make money. In the cold. But she still loves to sing. I can tell when I listen.
Now we're very close. Tell me one more thing about her.
On Christmas, her father made her a doll out of 2 sticks and a pine cone. Every time it falls apart, she fixes it again.
Ah, I can see her now. I know where she lives. Oh, oh, oh!
There she is, sound asleep. That's the pine cone doll on the pillow next to her. Maybe you could give her a real one instead?
No doll I could give her would ever replace that. The blanket. Ah, it's full of bear patches. Well, that shouldn't be, should it?
No.
There, a strong new one. New shoes, stockings, and a nice dress with sturdy hems. And something she's bound to treasure almost as much as this pine cone doll. Well, just watch what I pull from my pack.
It's perfect.
Jolly old St. Nicholas, lean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say. Christmas Eve is coming soon, now you dear old man. Whisper what you'll bring to me, tell me if you can. Ah, here we are, the Foley Old Manse again. Hang on tight.
That was wonderful. I'll never have another Christmas as good as this one.
Oh, you have many more wonderful Christmases ahead of you. But do me this one favor.
Anything.
The next time you want to talk to me, don't trip me with a jump rope. Merry Christmas, Sylvia.
Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
Look what I found!
A train engine!
A doll! A sailboat!
A rocking horse!
A velocipede!
It's the same all up and down the street.
Kids getting toys out of nowhere.
Hardly nowhere. Somebody must have left them here. Along with that smart jacket you're wearing. And that cap on your head.
And your handsome blue dress. I know. Santa Claus.
Just maybe. He left this at the foot of my bed. Up on the housetop, reindeer paws. Out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney with lots of toys. All for the little ones' Christmas joys. All right, so I'm not very good yet, but I'll learn. A child's garden of verses. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, click, click. Down through the chimney with good Saint Nick. You had something to do with this kid. I don't have a clue how, but I know that you did. I'm still not sure if I believe in Santa Claus, but I believe in fairy silk.
Friends, we're about to take a brief intermission. We encourage you to peruse the shows we have for sale, buy a little something to drink. If you need restrooms, they're down the hall and to the left, or there's one restroom right there. And we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back. Did everyone have a good break? Indeed. You know, the more love you give us, the more show you get back. And speaking of which, this show used to be, before David Benedict hosted this show, Daniel Taylor and Karen Wilbanks hosted this show. And Daniel Taylor would always say something that touched me and made me laugh so much. He would say the Atlanta Radio Theater is, God knows, a not-for-profit corporation. So if, as part of your end-of-year giving, you'd like to give us $5, $50, $50,000, $50 million, $1 billion, we'd appreciate it a lot. And if you have tons of space available, we're looking for a place to put the Atlanta Radio Theater Company studio. So if you've got space available, come talk to Bill Ritch or myself after the show, and we'll help you get a tax deduction for doing that. Among the other not-for-profit corporations that are involved in radio is National Public Radio. And Cyd Hoskinson, who used to be with us before she moved to Florida, wrote a great parody of what happens on a newscast on such a program. Hold on to your seats, because here comes Rudolphium.
Hello, and welcome to Spaced Out. I'm Sophie Hamill. Coming up, the rocky tale of an accidental discovery. But first, the news!
From the news studios of XMAS-FM 105.5 The Pole, I'm Steve Insmith.
And I'm Sylvia Cannoli. North Pole authorities announced the discovery of 4,000 Chatty Cathy dolls missing since Christmas Eve 1962. According to Sheriff Oma O'Shea, the irritatingly talky dolls were hijacked by a group of parents calling themselves the Silent Knights. That's KNIGHTS. O'Shea says an anonymous caller told them where the dolls were stashed.
Thanks to the tipster, we found the toys in an old Vermont bomb shelter. As soon as we opened the door, we could hear them. 4,000 very chatty Cathys down there in the dark, pulling each other's strings. Ugh.
Instead of removing the dolls, O'Shea torched them with a flamethrower, saying, quote, "The world is better off without those creepy things."
The world's first hot soda, Warm Up, was pulled from store shelves within hours of its debut yesterday. Wendy Wilson is with the North Pole Product Police.
That drink was a mushroom cloud in a can. Literally.
Wilson says a special Kevlar-coated lead tube in the center of each can contained a mini neutron generator that kept the drink hot.
Unfortunately, one of those tubes accidentally ruptured during checkout and, well, kaboom!
Kaboom indeed. Back to you, Sophie.
Thank you, Steve. Scientists at the Prancer Observatory and Lighter Than Air Research Institute say they've discovered a new element that will end Santa's dependence on flying reindeer forever. Spaced Out reporter Orville Newton has this live report.
As everyone can see, I'm here at the Polar Institute with the scientists who played key roles in this astounding tale.
Time out, Orville. This isn't television. Our listeners can't see you. They can't see anyone.
Right. Well, listeners, imagine me in a laboratory the size of an airplane hangar, and I'm surrounded by a gaggle of bespectacled elves in tiny white lab coats, clutching tiny little clipboards. It's unsettling.
Unsettling?
Well, duh, Sophie. I'm in this room with hundreds of teeny tiny scientists, and, well, they're all just running amok.
Did you just say amok?
Yes, I did, Sophie. And, hey, you down there, get away from my foot.
Did you just kick one of those tiny little scientists? Orville? bet you're nodding. You're nodding, aren't you? Well, stop it right now. Just finish your story, got it? You're nodding again.
Sorry. The new element, Rudolphium, is the first addition to the periodic table in nearly a century. Dr. Adam Aufbaum is the Institute's chief financial officer. I hear, Dr. Aufbaum, that serendipity was responsible for this discovery.
Serendipity, Sherman-dipity, it was an accident. We were having our annual company picnic when one of our scientists, Albert Dubious, spilled his hot cocoa on a strange-looking rock. He cleaned it up with a napkin, and then the dummy stuck the mess into his lab coat.
And, that makes him a dummy?
Of course. Only a dummy will put a sopping wet napkin in the same pocket of a very expensive electromagnetic Levi Tesla chrome. The young Dubious will be a very old elf, very enough, as soon as he finished paying it off.
After months of experimentation, scientists at the Institute finally isolated the heretofore unknown Rudolphium molecule. Dr. Gaston Plante, you were in charge of the team that made the discovery, right?
I was. It is simply impossible to convey the excitement we felt when we got our first glimpse of the naked little Rudolphium molecule.
Naked? As in no underpants naked?
Don't be silly. Naked. As in no electrons.
Oh, yeah, I totally get it when you explain it like that.
Well, not no electrons exactly. We just couldn't see them. It turns out Rudolphium electrons like to hide in the nucleus. This is where the little protons, with their little proton and neutron friends.
Electrons have friends?
Of course. Everyone has friends.
I don't have any friends.
Well, sucks to be you. Anyway, since Rudolphium is a solid, it is easier to use than the helium gas. You just dissolve a few grains of this stuff in some paint. We like atomic tangerine here at the Institute. Brush a little of the paint on an object and wait for it to dry.
Yeah, and then, and when the paint dries?
The object takes off. Let me show you. Yuri, here, kitty, kitty.
Oh, you're kidding. You're gonna paint a cat? This cat?
What? Oh, don't worry. They tell me the cat's done this 100 times already. You just love to fly, don't you, kitty? The dog and the gerbil, on the other hand, they don't like it much. But the cat, that's why we named him Yuri. After the cosmonaut.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Can we move this little demonstration along, Doctor?
Well, first we grind some Rudolphium into this can of paint. Give it a quick stir. And then we brush it on the cat like so. While you blow on the paint, I will tie the string to the cat's tail.
Whoa!
Das ist nachgeschlagen! Bist du so? Soll ich nicht anwählen? Wie geht's? Don't let it go! Remind me, tie the object down before the Rudolphium dries.
Well, there you have it, Sophie. The story of,
Orville?
What happened? How come I'm on the floor? Oh, look, a flying kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, come to Orville. I love you, little kitty.
Someone call 911! Tell them to send an ambulance to the Institute! We've got a reporter down! Oh, and you might want to give them a heads up about the flying cat. account of the Rudolphium discovery in the January edition of Mad Scientists magazine, which goes on sale next week. To see photos of Yuri, the flying space cat, visit our website, spacedout.artc.org. I'm Sophie Hamill. Up next, the Transcendental Existentialist. Host Cammie Hegel gets up close and personal with an unexamined life to see if it was, in fact, not worth living. Stay tuned.
The Christmas edition of Spaced Out is made possible by
Currier and Ives Media Productions. Don't let ugly reality ruin a beautiful memory. Currier and Ives will preserve the past like you want future generations to remember it. Let Currier and Ives make it real.
And by
the Rosebud Company, maker of quality sleds, sleighs, and toboggans. Go ahead, play in the snow. Rosebud. Fun that lasts a lifetime.
Hi there. I'm Nick. Nice to meet you. I'm the owner, operator, resident friend, shoulder to cry on, armchair therapist, confidant, and purveyor of potent potables at Christmas Spirits. In other words, I'm the bartender at a bar catering to a special clientele. You may know most of them. They're the living spirits of Christmas. And they've come here to unwind and let their troubles out. Troubles, you ask? Why, sure, they have troubles just like you and me. So they come here to ease their pains. I've lots of stories to tell, but one in particular comes to mind. The tale of a special stranger visiting the bar and the Christmas that almost wasn't.
The Atlanta Radio Theater Company is thrilled to present the world premiere of Gary Joris's Christmas Spirits.
Welcome to Christmas Spirits, the merriest bar around. Come on in, take a load off. Name your drink of choice, and it's yours.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
So, what can I get you tonight?
Oh, some water will be fine, thank you.
Water it is then.
It's awful busy tonight. Is it always like this?
Busy? Well, yeah, I guess it looks like that. The folks are just blowing off some steam before the big day tomorrow.
Big day?
You're joking, right? It's Christmas Eve, so Christmas Day is tomorrow.
Oh, of course, Christmas Day. I lost track of time, and it snuck right up on me.
That happens. Say, do I know you? You look familiar.
I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, happens in here sometimes. We get new people coming in every year. Hey, well, since you're new, let me show you around, introduce you to some of the regulars.
Oh, I don't want to be a bother.
Oh, it's no bother at all. Not a lot going on, and yeah, I got some time. I can let the staff take over for now. Yo, Sugar!
You bellowed.
You know it, sweetie. Hey, could you and some of the other fairies take over? I got a new guy to show around.
Oh, sure. You get to have fun while the rest of us get to work our wings off.
You are the best. Come on, stranger.
Are you sure it's okay? She seemed a little upset.
That's just the way she is. Remarkably sour for a sugar plum fairy. So, Christmas Spirits is split up into several rooms. This is our main area where everyone likes to sit and talk. Over there is the literary character room. That's for the book characters. Silver screen for the big movie folks. Little screen, that's for the made-for-TV movies. Musical room for the folks in song. And, of course, the elves' playroom. That's where they get some eggnog in them and they get a little out of control. Oh, and never, ever give them nutmeg. Drives them crazy.
Who let their wine here?
It sounds like a big place. Does it ever get too crowded?
Nope. Always enough room. Christmas spirits is, it's just like the people it caters to. Magical. It's always just the right size and always has just the right number of rooms.
Oh, sounds amazing.
Stick around. You ain't seen nothing yet. So, here's some of our older patrons, been around for a long time now, and some of the nicest people you could ask to meet. These are the ghosts of past, present, and future. Everyone, like to introduce you to a new face to our crowd.
Another new face? Do they never stop?
Don't be silly. You look to the past too much. Live in the now, I say. Come closer, man, so that I may know you. Eat, drink, and be merry.
Oh, you're always like this. You never think of anything except for the present.
And you have a head that is always stuck in the past. Live in the now, I say.
I can't believe you would say that to me. I'm the ghost of Christmas past, so of course I look to the past, you short-sighted rube. You never consider your actions, only living in the moment.
Come on, folks. Can't you two get along? Always the same with these two, past and present. You'd think they would get along better.
You'd be cross, too, if you were always constantly looked over for credit in your own story. Everyone knows Scrooge and his transformation, but do we get the credit? Nope.
It's all Scrooge you hear about, how he changed and turned over a new leaf as if it was all on his own.
But, I mean, everyone knows that without you, there would have been no change.
Darn right there wouldn't. Without us, that old miser would be still huddled around a single lump of coal, eating potato soup that was mostly water, and complaining about what mustard does to him.
But what about your friend there? He's been fairly quiet through all this.
He doesn't say anything. He just sits there and points.
Very kind of you to inquire as to what I think. While it is hurtful to be glossed over in the tale, it is important to remember that each of us played an integral role, and without each piece of the puzzle, nothing would have changed, and the tale would have been without moral or meaning.
You can talk?
Yes, I can speak.
And this whole time we've sat here, you've said nothing, not a peep. Why?
Exactly! If you could speak all this time, why haven't you contributed anything?
You never asked. You just argued with one another, and it would have been rude to interrupt.
Would have been
never asked.
I think we should let them work this out on their own. Come on, let's go meet some of the other patrons. Have a good night, spirits.
Sounds like an interesting friendship they have.
It is. Funny, though, I never knew he could speak either. And I'd like to introduce you to some of our song characters. Jack Frost, Frosty the Snowman, and Grandma. Don't mention Santa to her. It's a touchy subject.
Touchy? You get run over by a bloated drunk in a red suit and his tiny reindeer, and you tell me if you get to be a little touchy about it.
Now, Grandma, it hasn't been proven, and you admitted that you've been drinking too much eggnog that night. I mean,
it would take a lot of eggnog for me to be confused as to who ran me over.
Yes, well, everyone, we have a new guest to our fine establishment.
Hi there, friend. Pull up a chair and have a drink with us.
Oh, stick it up your nose, Frosty. Do you always have to be so nice to everyone?
Jack, there's no need to be rude.
No need, really. You try living with the label as an icy jerk with a nose fetish. Some fool writes a song saying I nip at people's noses, and everyone says I have a nose fetish. The soft, bulbous ones, proud, straight ones, and little button ones. Well, who wouldn't want to tweak them? It's as plain as the nose on your face. I don't have a problem.
Of course you do, Jack.
Come on, Jack. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just admit it. You like noses. As far as fetishes go, it's not too bad. Why, I can tell you some stories about what Grandpa and I used to get up to before his lumbago kicked in. See, we would get onto the roof.
I'm not a deviant. It's as plain as the nose on your face that I don't have a fetish.
Mr. Frost just sniffed a brandy. What? I like brandy, and it comes in a snifter. Stop reading into things. Nosy people looking at some.
Settle down, Jack. Nobody meant anything. You like brandy, and I wish somebody would give me a hot toddy.
Frosty, we've been through this. You drink something hot, and you melt. Not exactly good for business to see the remnants of a snowman on the ground. Besides, think of the kids and what it would do to them.
Fine. Another snow cone and an iced tea. No, the lemon cone this time. Someone decided to be a joker and left me a special kind of yellow cones.
What was that?
What was what? Is Santa coming for me?
Kitties with little cold noses.
Sounds like the polar bears. Yeah, we have to keep them outside since a certain company got them hooked on caramel-colored sugar water and used them in advertising.
Oh, you mean the cold?
Don't say their name. You know they're worse than you know who. And their lord will be on a, like a ton of bricks if you say their name.
I wonder why they're getting worked up.
Someone must be messing with them.
Who'd be dumb enough to mess with polar bears except...
Oh, no, not them.
I thought you had precautions in place.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do. You know how they are.
How who are?
The elves.
You see, the elves are hard workers, and they come here after quitting time.
They not only work hard, but they believe in playing harder. Unfortunately, they also believe in making our lives unbearable.
Yeah, they always coming over here, and they always stealing my...
Guys! He can't move without his hat. I tell you that every year. Just give it back to him.
Oh, stupid magic hat. Oh, here, no fun if he can't move.
Happy birthday! I told you, little crate, to stop stealing my hat. Do you know how rude it is and how much I hate going lightly in the middle of it?
Enough! Give it up or I'll tweak your little cute noses.
Anyone who takes Frosty's hat will have no nutmeg on their eggnog. Do I make myself clear?
Clear as crystal. Sorry. Just plain. No harm.
Happy birthday! Again. I really need this. I need a chin strap for this thing.
Not sure which is worse, horde of elves or rampaging Santa's reindeer.
Are you all right, Frosty?
I'm fine. At least they have some fun. Besides, at least they give me back my hat.
You are very forgiving. No wonder all the children love you. They love you all, actually. I'm singing your songs every year.
Well, that's true. It's not like they really focus on the whole nose thing.
And I guess it's not like they're laughing about me being a victim of a hit-and-run accident.
Glad to hear that's settled. I tell you what, next round, on me. See you, folks. Gotta move on. Hey, nice work there, stranger. Wasn't sure they were going to calm down this time.
This time?
Yeah, it gets worse every year. The spirits and holiday figures get more angry and resentful about the way they get treated.
It does seem as if the world has kind of lost its way and really forgotten what the holiday means.
Amen to that, brother. Oh, so now we come to the kiddie table, the jolliest of jollies. Everyone, say hello to our new guest. This is Tiny Tim, Cindy Lou Who, and the little drummer boy. What?
I'm not that little. I've been around for almost 80 years. You'd think that people would stop calling me little.
You think that's bad? I'm 6'3" and over 100 years old, and people still call me tiny, expecting me to cry out, God bless us, everyone.
At least you aren't linked to a green furball with attitude issues. Everyone thinks I'm a fool because I didn't realize that the Santa in my home was just a thief.
Nick, when you gonna start treating us like kids? We're all close enough or over 100 years old by now. We should stop serving us apple cider and Shirley Temples. We're all old enough to handle something a little harder.
You're forever young. Enjoy it.
The next person that pinches my cheek and tells me how cute I am is gonna get a drumstick up the nose.
Did someone say nose?
It could be worse, kid. You could be 7 foot tall, wearing robes death wouldn't be seen in, and everyone thinks you're a mute. Do you know how hard it is to get dates looking like this?
We get it, Future. Everyone has problems, but at least you can drown your woes in booze. Even the elves get to drink, and they all look like children.
Think of the joy you bring the people out there, children and adults alike. You show them a purity of heart that is sorely lacking in the world today. Timothy sees the goodness in the world around him, even though he has every reason to be bitter.
He is right.
Cindy Lou, you saw goodness in a person, and you trusted him where others wouldn't have.
Well, in the end, he was just a nice man in a Santa Claus suit.
And let us not forget the drummer boy and his gift to the newborn king. The only thing he had to give, and he did so without reservation.
It was just a little tune I thought up.
Well, who needs booze? And besides, at least we all get our own tables, right?
Glad to hear it. I tell you what, maybe I'll even let you have a little bit of champagne this New Year's Eve. Come on, stranger. One more table I'll introduce you to. You know, you handled that like a pro. Ever thought about becoming a bartender?
Oh, not really. I'm just good at listening to people.
Yeah, that's most of the job. All right, here we are at the last table. I call it Grumpy Corner. Let me introduce you to Ebenezer Scrooge, the Grinch, and Jacob Marley. Wait a minute. Where's Clarence?
Sulking in the silver screen room. Said he's tired of idiots throwing themselves off bridges just to see how wonderful their lives are.
He even mentioned he wished he never got his wings.
A grumpy angel?
No, at least he gets remembered fondly. The Grinch and I are always remembered as we were, not what we became.
Oh, exactly. Our names are synonymous with people that hate Christmas.
Or tight-fisted with a pound, dollar, peso.
You tried to steal my hat when I first got here.
Frosty, that was a misunderstanding. Those eyes of yours are fine examples of premium grade A coal. Do you know how much they go for on the open market?
Bad enough you tried to take them. Even after you plucked that first one, I started screaming, my eye, please don't steal my eye. But you kept going.
I gave them back, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I just can't believe.
Jack, give Frosty his hat back and leave his nose alone.
Oh, but it's such a cute button.
Happy birthday! Darn it, Jack. Give it back my nose.
Ebenezer and I are always considered shady and underhanded. Why can't we be held up as the pillars of virtue we eventually became? Why must our names always contain such negative connotations?
Grinch, before you reformed, you stole every present, ornament, tree, and morsel of food that wasn't nailed down. Strike that. You even took the ones that were nailed down, and the nails.
That was wicked of me, wasn't it? Scrooge was worse. He suggested sending women and children to workhouses or prisons. Then when someone said they would rather die, he said to let them and decrease the surplus population.
I wouldn't say that now.
At least you get remembered in some way. I'm usually a trick question during Christmas trivia games. How many ghosts was Scrooge visited by? 4 ghosts. 4, not 3.
There, Jacob. Without you, I wouldn't have been prepared for what was to come. You were a little light on the details there.
Balderdash, I told you what you needed to know. At least you had a chance to reform. Look at me. You get redeemed, but I'm still being punished. I didn't even lose a single link in my chain or a strong box.
But you're all deeply loved characters. While someone that doesn't seem to have the Christmas spirit is called a Scrooge or a Grinch, at least there's faith that they can reform, just like you did.
And me? I matter too, right?
Of course you do, Jacob. Why, without you, there would have been no story, and Scrooge would have imagined everything to be a product of an undercooked potato.
I guess it isn't so bad. Round of drinks for the house. On me.
Hey, you did good, stranger. Old Ebenezer may be reformed, but getting him to pick up the tab, not the easiest thing in the world. So, what can I get you, and what do you think of the place?
Oh, it's a great place. A lot of good people in it. Just water, please.
We do have stronger things than water, you know.
I'm good with water.
How's it going, Santa?
It's like a dog out the ugly dog world when I'm wearing meat underpants. Set me up with an Irish coffee. Without the coffee, Nick.
That bad, huh?
Busy as usual. So many requests. Well, more like demands. So little time. I need to make sure that I have a bit of Christmas spirit in me before heading out for the night. I might see my elves make it all ready. Did I miss the messing with old Frosty?
Nick, we need you in the elf playroom. The Winter Warlock and the Abominable Snowman are in there playing elf bowling again. And some of the elves are chasing the elf on the shelf. Luckily, no one's tall enough to get him down.
Starting a little early tonight, aren't they?
Someone's slipping some nutmeg, and they're all drunk as skunks. I had to wade through a pile of passed-out elves, pointed shoes, jingle bell hats. It was everywhere. It's like the Keebler factory exploded.
Sorry, Santa. Stranger. Yeah, I'll be right back. I better go take care of this.
So, like I was saying, did I miss old Frosty losing his nose?
It's not funny, Santa. I hate when they do.
That never gets old. Thank you, Tiny Tim.
Just Tim, please, sir.
Happy birthday. Oh, forget it.
That's him. That's the homicidal lunatic that ran me over. I'd recognize that laugh anywhere.
Madam, the boys and I did no such thing.
Poppycock, I have the hoof and claws marks on my back, you menace.
Santa, are you causing a ruckus again?
No, dear wife. Just having a little discussion with someone about sleigh operations and the right of way on a snowy night.
Ran over another grandmother,
No, the same one every year. Once or twice I could forgive, but every year now? Every single year.
Did I miss anything?
Just some angry words.
It happens. They're all unwinding a little. Hey, Sugar, send someone over to Hermes Dental. Let him know he's gonna get a few customers. More than a couple people need their 2 front teeth replaced for Christmas.
It's not right. The people out there don't appreciate us and the work we do.
Every year, more and more letters from people asking me for things. Not even asking. Demanding is more like it.
Are you sure you should be drinking that much, Santa?
I know when to say when, dear.
Tell that to my back, you drunkard. Wonder your nose is red.
Some fool wrote a poem about me and said that I have a red nose and a jelly belly, and now I'm seen as an overweight geriatric with a cookie fixation. Rudolph has the red nose, not me.
A red nose? Well.
Nick, the 12 days of Christmas folks are fighting with the 12 redneck days of Christmas in the music lounge about which one is better. They brought the birds. Again. All of them. We don't have enough newspaper. I think the 11 Lords of Leaping or the 11 Ladies Dancing did it. I can never remember which number goes to which performer.
Remembering the days of Christmas, it's like remembering the names of Santa's reindeer.
That's easy. Just have to remember the song.
Really? So name them.
My reindeer? Of course I know their names.
You call them your boys or some other generic thing. Bet you can't remember their names.
I'll make you eat those words.
Like you eat cookies?
Well, there's Dasher and Dancer.
Those are the easy ones. It gets harder as you go along.
Everyone knows that.
Even though I know how this ends, I'm in suspense.
I liked you better when you couldn't talk.
There's Prancer and Vixen.
Halfway there. Must have caught you before you drank too much.
Comet and Cupid.
This is where most people lose it.
Then there's
I knew he blew
what's
it.
his name? No, I have it. Here it comes. Rudolph.
I don't think he counts.
Maybe this'll help.
Tito and Germaine.
Those are part of the Jackson 5.
Dopey and Doc.
2 of the 7 dwarves.
Grant and Leigh.
Generals in the Civil War.
Red and Green.
Now you're just naming colors. This is sad.
Donder and Blitzen, my dear.
Of course, Donder and Blitzen. I almost had it. So much on my mind. Who wouldn't forget a couple of names? It's a blasted holiday. Like it never ends. Remember when Christmas didn't start until I came out in that Thanksgiving parade in New York? How we had Christmas decorations, and now they're out before Thanksgiving.
And the movies. Christmas in July. July, really. I can't tell you how being in 100-degree weather makes me think of Christmas.
What's the point of calling a movie that takes place during Christmas a Christmas movie? Die Hard is a Christmas movie? Die Hard? A Christmas movie should not have that many body count at the end of it.
Lethal Weapon wasn't too bad. Young Mel Gibson was dreamy.
Those eyes.
That hair. That butt.
Easy, ladies. Watch your blood pressure.
How many times can we make a Christmas movie with the same plot line? It's like the writers throw the basic ideas in hats, pick them out and blend them together for the latest movie.
Don't get me started on the music remakes. If I have to listen to one more fading pop star caterwaul their way through a holiday classic, I may throw up in my drum.
Oh, I don't know. That Bing Crosby can roast my chestnuts anytime.
He can ba-ba-ba-boom me anytime.
Ladies, there are children present.
I'm over 100. Let it go, Nick.
Christmas just doesn't mean what it used to. It used to be about love, and joy, and happiness. Now it's just presents and money.
And being offended, don't forget that. Like a string of lights is offensive and needs a court case.
Heaven forbid you say Merry Christmas to the wrong person. They give gifts on the day, but they don't celebrate Christmas. Say Merry Christmas and you may as well have just spat on them.
Speaking of which, I took a trip to pose as a Santa in front of a store, ringing bells for charity. Some man almost punched me, yelled at me for ringing the bell in his face obnoxiously.
You know what? They don't appreciate us anymore. So why should we bust our tails for them?
Wait. What are you trying to say, Jack?
I say forget them. They want to be miserable, let them. They want this to be all about stuff, fine. I say we strike. Show them what a Christmas without us is like.
Yeah, then they'll show us the respect we deserve. Strike! Strike!
Make
Strike!
us play with the nose on their faces.
I don't know about these guys. Yes, come on, venting is one thing, but taking away the spirit of Christmas, trust me, we don't want that.
They don't appreciate us. We'll show them. Strike!
That's enough! Enough of this talk of strikes! So the people are more callous than before. It doesn't mean that we have to be just like them.
Maybe the reason people want to celebrate Christmas earlier every year is because it's the one time where it's easier to be nice to one another and try to show some humanity without asking for anything in return.
Well, yeah, but to make us work so hard on something that they should be able to do on their own.
Well, it should make you proud that they turn to you when they're in need. Santa, I think Nick told me that you keep a couple of special letters in your pocket to help you remember the season.
I did? Oh, yeah, I did. Come on, Santa. You usually have a couple of good ones.
Well, I do have a couple. Dear Santa, I'm writing to you from my hospital room, and I hope
you can give me what I want for Christmas. I'm awful sick. And I heard the doctors talking about this probably being my last Christmas and all. So I don't really need toys or gifts this year. I just really need you to promise to take care of my folks and little brother. He can be a pain sometimes, but I still love him. I know they'll be sad when I'm gone, 'cause I see them crying when they think I'm sleeping. Don't make them be sad, Santa. Let them be happy and know it's all right. If you can do that for me this Christmas, I'll love you forever.
It goes on for a little more, but you get the point.
Such a good little kid. Wish there was something we could do.
What about another?
I'll take this one. Dear Santa, I know I'm not supposed to believe in you anymore, because I'm a big boy now, but I thought
I would give it one more try and pray this reaches you. See, there's a family in our neighborhood that have it rough. Well, Dad says it's tough all over, but this family seems to have gotten the short end, something fierce. Sometimes they don't have food or lights, but they're awful good folks, always have a smile on the faces, and ready to give a hand when someone needs it. They got 2 boys my age, and it just don't seem fair that they gotta suffer more than they have to. Could you maybe use whatever magic you might have been thinking on using on me and give it to them? Give them a good Christmas to get them through the year?
That goes on a little more too, but I think you get the point.
I know. People seem self-centered and greedy this time of year, looking toward the pettiness in their hearts and forgetting the spirit of the season. But there's still good people out there. Please, don't make them suffer because of the bad seeds.
Well, I wouldn't know what to do if we actually did go on strike.
I'd be making my story a lie if I didn't see the good in people.
Oh, what the heck. What's getting run over one more year as long as people get a laugh or two?
Thanks, Nick. And you too, stranger. Thank you for reminding some old fools that there's still good out there somewhere.
Hey, we still have a couple hours before midnight. How about drinks on the house? Welcome to Christmas Spirits. I'm afraid it's last call, almost time for Christmas. Oh, back again, stranger.
Yeah, just wanted to check in before heading home.
Long trip ahead of you? Here's your water.
You could say I have a ways to go tonight. Thanks for the water, by the way.
Hallmark of a good bartender. Knowing what your customer wants and needs.
And you are a very good bartender. But an even better spirit of Christmas, aren't you, Nick? Or should I call you St. Nicholas?
Well, you got me. How'd you know? No one else has figured it out in all the time that the bar has been here.
Oh, it wasn't easy, but you do a very good job keeping everyone in line and motivated to do their jobs.
Yeah, they're a good group. Sometimes even they forget the true meaning of the season. Have to give them a nudge. I almost thought we weren't going to make it, though, tonight. Thanks for the help, by the way. I forgot about the letters that Santa carries around, and I know
I know I didn't tell you.
Lucky guess.
Uh-huh. Lucky. You helped out a lot.
You know what they say, a soft answer turneth away wrath.
But grievous words stir up anger. Same now as it was then. Just who are you, stranger?
Just someone passing by, looking for a place to rest for the night. You know how the story goes. Well, thanks for the stories, and thanks for the water. God bless you, St. Nick.
Wine? All right, now, I know I gave you water, but now it's wine? Well, thank you for dropping by, stranger. Thank you for everything. And may I be the first tonight to say, Happy birthday!
Friends, that's our show. Thank you so much for being here. The show was directed by C.S. Jones. Alton Leonard was our musician. Give it up for our Foley team, captained by Alice Leigh, with Dara Metcalfe and Anna Fowler. And your cast tonight, Billy Barefoot, Demmarie Boreland, Thomas Cage, Kelley Ceccato, Madison Coleman was our floor manager and is hiding. Ellie Cook, BJ Copeland, Anna Fowler, Katriel Jones, Alton Leonard, Trudy Leonard, Stephen Miller, Rosi Ringham, Dave Schrader is out selling material, Brian E. Smith does our videotaping. We'd like to thank Paige Steadman, and in a very rare stage appearance, Mr. William Allen Ritch. My name is Robert Drake, and now I will do a David Benedict impersonation. Friends, there is adventure in sound. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Happy holidays. We'll see you again tomorrow.